Hey everybody, I'm Belinda Sandor, also known as Rocket Girl, and today we're going to talk about the right tools for the right job. When you're a virtual assistant, it's very important to have the right tools to perform your job. And today I'm going to talk to you specifically about the tools that you need to get your business off the ground. The first thing you need is a reliable computer. You really need a machine that can handle what you're doing. Now, this doesn't need to be very expensive. It doesn't need to be top of the line, nothing like that. But it does need to be reliable, and you want to make sure that you have enough RAM and hard drive space so you're not seeing that little, icon scrolling around for a long time. So if you're going to invest in anything, I would say you need a reliable computer. Time tracking software. Time is money when you're a virtual assistant, right? So I want you to find time tracking software that you like and keep the tab, keep it open in your browser all the time so it's always available. I suggest Toggle. There's also Clockify and all different ways of doing that, but I want you to invest in that. And it's free. It's really what it is. It's a commitment investment and a time investment. So go ahead and do that. Project management system. Now, this does not need to be, again, expensive or complicated. When I was first starting out, I used notebooks. I wrote things down. I think it's because it was so long ago that that's just how I worked when I was in corporate. I wrote things down. Now, there are tons of software applications out there that you can use for free. Trello, you can use, Teamwork, sorry, that's the one I use, Teamwork. And while you can only have 2 projects in Teamwork for the free version, there's ways around that. There's definitely ways around that, but you want something that's reliable, that's going to remind you what to do. You can also put your tasks on your calendar if your calendar is the place where you spend most of your time. But you need some kind of system other than a stack full of Post-its scattered all over your desk for you to know what you need to be taken care of. Data backup. This can happen in a couple different ways. You can do a backup of your hard drive on like a standalone. I have one right in front of me. It's a data drive that I plug into my USB port, external hard drive, and copy things there. Or you can use an application like Dropbox, where you have the data in the cloud and also local on your hard drive as well. But you want to make sure that you have a data backup system. There's another software I have used in the past called Carbonite, and I'm sure there's many, many others out there, but you want to make sure that you think about this. I did not handle this early in my career, and it's very expensive to get a hard drive recovered, and you want to avoid that if you can. A professional email address. A lot of VAs don't take the next step. So they'll register a domain. So a domain is, the URL, the address of their business, like mine is RocketGirlSolutions.com. And what they'll do is they'll have a website, but their email address will be RocketGirlSolutions@gmail.com. I don't want you to do that. I want you to take the next step to get a professional email address. So my address is Belinda@RocketGirlSolutions.com, not Gmail. So find out how to do that. It's not that hard. It doesn't have to cost any money. And I think it's really important to show everyone you're in business for real. Password manager. Do not know what I would do without my password manager. The password manager that I use is called LastPass. And what it does, it's a database of all the passwords that I have. And when I go to a website where I need to log in, if my password for that website is stored, it automatically populates it. So you can imagine, as a VA, I do a lot of newsletters. I probably have, 25 username and password combinations for MailChimp and Constant Contact. It keeps all of them in the database. And when I go to MailChimp or Constant Contact or any of those places, I just click on a little drop down, click the one I want to log into, and boom, I'm in. That is a very affordable, and they have a free version as well. So look into that. Really useful. Zoom for screen sharing. Now, I know a lot of us, because we're all virtual now, I mean, the whole world is virtual. We've always been virtual. They're using Zoom all the time. But that was not the case pre-pandemic. I was using Zoom primarily for screen sharing. I really wasn't coming on the screen at all. So at minimum, you need it for screen sharing so that you can talk to clients. Today, I have a meeting with a client and we're going to do a project, and she is not very technical. So I'm going to explain it to her and show her on my screen so she can understand and we can problem solve it together. So very useful. Microsoft Office. Now, even if you're a Mac user and you have pages and numbers and all of that, I've found that primarily people use Microsoft Office. So Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. You don't necessarily need Access or Outlook or any of those, but definitely Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So invest in those. A graphics editor. You definitely need to be able to edit graphics in some way if you're working with graphics. Okay, so let me put a caveat around that. Canva, Photoshop are tools that I use every day, so look into that. And then the other thing you might need is a PDF editor. For the most part, though, what's going to happen is your clients are going to have the tools you'll need for your client work. So for example, if you're doing social media scheduling for them, you'll use their social media scheduler, or you'll use their software application, their copy of MailChimp or Constant Contact. So these are just the tools that you likely will need for your business, to run your business. So I want to make sure that you keep track of the tools that you have, and that you don't have tools that you don't need. I've seen so many VAs, they get FOMO about tools, and they go to download this and download that, and I think that they actually lose track, and then they're not looking at their bank statement, so they don't know what they're being charged for. So I want you to keep a list of the tools that you're using and paying for, and check in with yourself from time to time to make sure that you actually need to use that tool. When you start with a new tool, I want you to download the free version. And when you discover that you need to upgrade, do it then. Okay, do it then. I don't want you to waste any money on tools that you don't need. All right, so for those of you who are new to me, I want to make sure you know about my free online classroom. It's called the Virtual Assistant Connection, and we are on Facebook. Just type the Virtual Assistant Connection in the search bar at the top of Facebook, and you'll be brought to the group where we have over 15,000 members, a strong community, lots of learning and education, whether you're just starting out as a virtual assistant or you've been one for a long time. I hope you'll join me over there. In the meantime, I'm Belinda Sandor, Rocket Girl, signing off. Bye-bye.